Hello, hello, hello. Playing Title Tuesday today, just as usual. This is already 8th time in a row, which is definitely a success for me because, let's say, consistency, I think, is not my best. Yeah, so doing something on regular basis is not easy for me, and I plan to keep playing till the end of the year. So actually, yeah, today is last Tuesday of October. Then there will be 4 Tuesdays in November, and there will be 5 Tuesdays in December, but I'm gonna participate. Most likely, I'm gonna participate only in first three on December 2nd, 9th, and 16th. Then obviously it is about participating in the World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship, which I would say one of the reasons I participate in Title Tuesday, because, well, like, it's not a bad idea to get some experience by playing in Title Tuesday, but obviously speaking, let's say the prize fund versus probability of winning a prize, of course, is not so great. This season they actually made Title Tuesday as a qualification path to the esports World Cup. However, to qualify there, like, you need to regularly to show a good result regularly, which I don't do, which I didn't do. I didn't even have a single good result. I mean, in last 8 Tuesdays, I think my best result was maybe something like 17th place or around that. One time I was close to take 5th place. Otherwise, it was quite consistent result in terms of scoring, from 7 to 8 points out of 11. Not great, not bad. Something in the middle. In the middle for me, of course, in terms of the field, in terms of how many players participate. Usually it's around like 300, 400 participants taking, let's say, something like around 30, 40. Not bad, yes, but not great. So let's play. The tournament starts in 15 seconds. Yes, by the way, they have changed the starting time. Nothing changed for those who live in the Europe. Something has changed for those who live in the United States. But then next week it will be the same time as usual for those who live in the United States. So keep that in mind. It will be overall, yes, they stick to 5 p.m. Central European time. What is this time for you? I don't know. Yeah, you better to check it yourself. For example, for me, it is now 1 hour later. For you, I don't know. Well, not a great position for me, but I wouldn't say something bad at the moment. The only disadvantage for me is that I'm cramped, and actually now there are like a6 maybe was not really maybe it was not really a good idea to go for that. So bishop e6. Maybe at some point I will take the knight. Maybe I will play queen d7. For example, if bishop b6, then the queen might go to d7. The interesting thing about this position is king h1 is actually a good decision for a while because it's not so clear what they can do, and so it's a good idea to make a waiting move, because for me it's also not so clear what I could do. Yeah, so I could also make some kind of waiting move. H6 maybe would weaken my position. Let's play rook e8. However, maybe the rook was more useful on the f file, and now he can even get back. Yeah, like very smart decision by the guy, because let's see, let's check his intention. He's very confident in his intention to make a draw, and very good strategy by him, because obviously I need to win because I'm a higher rated player, and you see, like, objectively speaking, going for a draw would be the right decision for black, objectively speaking. Not keeping in mind my rating, his rating, based on what we have in the position. But since I'm higher rated, since it is a blitz game, obviously I need to win it. And that forces me to make some decisions that I wouldn't make if I played against a stronger opponent. Yeah, for example, if I played against Carlsen, then of course I would go for that repetition. But since I play I play against a low-rated opponent, I didn't go for that repetition. And at the same time, this could cost me a game at some point. Knight f8 was interested in attacking the pawn on e6 one more time, but knight f6 feels safer. Maybe knight f8 was better, but knight f8, you see knight g5 and knight e6, queen d5. So this is what I calculated, and I decided that knight f8 doesn't have... Also, like knight f8, knight g5, and if white knight goes to f7, there will be a lot of problems for me. He needs to play queen d2 probably, and then I will play queen c4. Oh, actually after queen d2 I can take... And can I play knight f4? That is the question. Knight f4, queen b7, knight e2. Queen here. Then, for example, king here, a4. Knight g3, king h2. Might be interesting, but not so clear. Oh, he decided not to gamble. King h2 is a good decision, probably. The knight will go here. I can bring my queen back to c7. And the knight will close the f file, avoiding queen f3, queen f7, for example. Don't I just win by playing d5? Yeah, after knight b6, it says it's a big advantage for white. I felt like it's nothing good for me. And as I told you, I would go, of course I would go for a draw, but since the opponent is lower rated, I needed to play for a win. However, here, as you can see, the position is already equal. Because yes, white has a lot of space, but I don't have too many pieces. So it's like there is no lack of space for me. Oh, by the way, maybe here I had queen c1, but queen c1, knight g1. But still, it was an option. I didn't see that. Knight f6 was the right move. Knight d5. Yeah. Knight f4. Yes, I thought queen b7 was necessary. Knight d2, queen b6. And I thought about either king g7 or knight g3 and queen f4. Here it would be queen d8 check. Actually, knight f3, the only move. Like, okay, maybe not difficult one. Queen b7, yes. Oops, so knight d2, queen b6. I thought a4 here by him. And I cannot go to f6. So yeah, this is what he should have played. And with a good chance to survive. But yeah, he simply blundered. And here it is already winning for black. But then he blundered one more time. By the way, just in case, if you are wondering what is that heart near to my surname, it is my pulse. So you can see like how it goes up and down during the game, depending on the position, depending on how bad my position is or how good my position is. I think it is something interesting. Not exciting, but I would say interesting. Joker, I think you should drag the pieces instead of clicking piece and then square. You will be much faster. Like you see, it is like, yes, it is a big discussion in terms of that. I haven't really checked how, let's say, strong blitz players play. But to me, it feels like, at least in the beginning of the game, in the middle of the game, when you have a lot of time, it feels somehow safer, let's say, to click and then to click one more time. Because if you drag them, then like they could accidentally land on the round square. While in the end, when it is already not so important, I mean, let's say speed is more important, then probably yeah, we should look for the best, like for the way which work the best. Okay, next round, plain white. And just a reminder that there is 15 seconds delay. Not a problem, 15 seconds delay, but also I would mention that I don't see chat during the games because I should skip it by the regulations of Title Tuesday. Because you see, anyway, 15 seconds is not like not a big delay, and if one of you would text something like saying, okay, this is the best move and you should play this or that, then it could be considered a hint and something they like, of course, something what is better to avoid. And that's why I don't see your question. Like if you have any questions, any comments during the game, I mean, you just should know that I don't see them, and I will see them and I might answer to them after the game. C5 might be interesting, but probably not enough yet. I mean, because after rook d8, like if I take and cd6, then it would be good. Okay, now it looks reasonable. Now it looks very reasonable to play c5 because like rook e6 looks a bit off because I can start with bishop g4, forcing him to play f5 and move my bishop back, or I can go with bishop c4, rook f6, knight d5, rook e6, maybe knight c7 there might be interesting. Okay, let's think. Bishop g4, f5, bishop b2, then king there, bishop c4, rook f6, knight d5, rook e6. It would be a better version for me. However, I'm not so sure if I need to force him to play f5 because later it could work against me. An interesting question. What is a better way for me? An interesting question. Very interesting. Let's go for bishop g4. Because anyway, bishop c4 is a threat. I don't think he could play knight d5 because of f4. Bishop f7 might be something I slightly underestimated. And the rook can go to h6 now. Okay, let's go knight d5. Yeah, maybe like, yes, probably it was easier to play bishop c4. Everything is still fine for me. The only problem is that my king, not like a problem, something to keep in mind, my king is a bit, might be a bit vulnerable. There is no knight on f3, there are not too many pieces. Black has access to the h file, g file. And he immediately tries to use it somehow. But at the moment I don't see any problem about that. b4 might be interesting. Like maybe overall he would play something like queen d8, trying to bring the queen closer, but it is not a big deal. But how do I improve my position? Like cd6, rook d6, it doesn't work yet for me. Let's play queen c3. Feels like it's kind of an improvement. it was expected. It was expected, I would say. Do I care about that? Like G3, of course, not a move you would like to play, weakening your king. But at the same time, I don't see the way he could use that against me. This is a bold decision by the guy, saying that I don't have a good discovery. Okay, maybe I don't. Let's just play queen c5. And the bishop will go to this diagonal. So the bishop might go to g2. Shit, if I play... okay, if c6 I have knight f6 or knight e7, fortunately for me. But yeah, the rook, my rook is unprotected now. Like there might be something like bishop h5. Yes, like bishop g4 was a big mistake by me. Bishop c4 would have given me an easy play and like obviously a good position. Yeah, now the problem, I cannot even take on c7 because of bishop takes d5. Oh, I can actually, because there will be back rank checkmate. So here's my point. I start with this. Now I go for this. And he cannot take my bishop because of back rank checkmate. Okay, it's time to shut up because I'm low on time. And the position is still like I need to do some work to convert it. And there might be some difficulty in doing that actually. This is of course a completely winning position for me. Just like need to make it the right way till the end, and that's it. Bishop e2. Okay. But now his knight is trapped. That's it. He may resign. There is no point of playing. Let's just play faster because a week ago or 2 weeks ago it was a problem with internet. So not losing on time, having 40 seconds. Tim69, thank you. Yeah, bishop c4 was like just the line I calculated, I think, on knight f4. But what then? and then nothing. Then just we are waiting. I thought like knight c7 probably gives some advantage, but maybe like not so clear. I would have two pawns and rook for two pieces, but like not convincing, I would say. Not enough convincing. Queen c3, I felt like it should be a good move. Yeah, and here like b6. b6 would create some problems for me. King h8. King h8 was kind of a blunder, but still black had bishop h5. While this one is already fine for me. A technical position. Okay. So far so good, 2 out of 2. Oh, interesting. Playing against young talent, Faustina Ora, who is something like I don't remember how old is he, but like something like 10 or 11, and who has how many points higher? Like 300 points higher rated than me on chess.com. That's insane. What can I say? Most likely bishop e7 should be played. Black might start with h6 followed by bishop e7, but bishop e7 is must do. I mean, how else he would escape from that annoying pin? Unfortunately, I cannot play knight f4 because of g5. Knight g6, gh4 doesn't look great. Let's play rook e1, a useful move. And keeping in mind ideas like, actually knight f4 now is a threat. Knight f4, g5, knight g6, and thanks to the rook, okay, with bishop on f5 it is no longer a threat. Let's play queen d2. Maybe he has knight e4. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Like, okay, in the worst case, I will go for knight takes e4, or I might also go for queen f4. Queen f4 looks interesting, going after the light squared bishop, which is an important one. Oh, stupid. I cannot take because of the capture on f2. Stupid idea. Like, I mean, okay, or like not a problem for me, not a big deal. Unfortunately, he has rook b8, simply defending the b7. Yeah, maybe at some point I can use that bishop on g6 and win the game thanks to that, but let's start with rook d1. Maybe, for example, after knight d5, queen g4 might be interesting, attacking the d7 square. He wants to exchange the queens. Maybe it is a blunder. Maybe it is a blunder. I heard that he's a talented tactician player and so on, but even if you're a talented tactician and like being under pressure, you might make some mistakes. If takes, then knight takes f4. And you remember I mentioned this idea. I mentioned that I might use the bishop on g6. While at the moment the threat is queen takes h4, yeah? I cannot play g takes h4, but I can take on h4. I cannot take on g5 because then the bishop would escape. But queen h4 is enough. I don't even see the way for him to complicate the things a little bit, like maybe bishop h5, but then I take here. Like most likely, like I don't even see for him the way to keep the queens on the board. So, okay, this is, yes, this is an option. And he found a way to keep the queens on the board. But I'm still resuming the threat. Knight f4 is coming, knight h5. Honestly saying, I'll almost blunder bishop g4, and then I realized that I actually can move my queen away somewhere, so everything is okay for me. But it was close, I would say. And now I have an idea of knight g6. Okay, let's maybe defend. I don't see a move for him, yeah? Like knight g6 is common, like whatever is common. Unfortunately, some people, like they don't want to resign in completely lost positions. But maybe he's gonna play king h8, at least like what else to do? Bishop d7. Can I go for knight g6? Maybe even queen g6 and knight h5 is good enough. Let's go for knight g6. Rook e8. Of course, I can take on e8, I can take on d7, but I would go for knight e7, and if king f8, my queen goes to h7. F takes e6, then bishop takes e6, king h8, and I take the rook on f8, totally crashing him. So you see, like sometimes I quite surprised to see those guys like 31-52, but I beat them easily like kids. But the guy is actually a kid. Rook e1 is good. I could I didn't see. I thought about playing knight g3, but after bishop h7 I didn't see that I could play knight h5. Of course, you might say that he blundered. Yes, okay, he blundered. But, like, okay, don't blunder. That's like if you are 31-52, don't blunder. And queen g5, by the way, like g3 is not the only move for me. Yes, I can play queen takes c7. I can do, like you see, there are some other moves that give advantage to me. Like a4, for example. Thank you. Play solid this game, don't play Scandinavian like last time. You see, it depends who I play against. For example, Zhigalka, I know why I played Scandinavian against Zhigalka, because I knew that against my Sicilian he plays Alepin, c3. That's why I didn't want to play Sicilian. Thank you, Tim. I'm not so sure about 9 points or higher because actually I have a headache. Headache? Yes, I think the right way to pronounce it. Headache. So somehow, like, I slept well today, like more or less, but yeah. Okay, let's play a game. Oh, I remember he played d4 c4 against me, and he was lucky to win the game because of some stupid blunder by me. It happened like maybe 3 title Tuesdays ago. Okay, this time he decided to change his weapon. White is very solid here, and White has, like, let's say he has his ideas. My pawn structure is, let's say, like maybe it is worse because of the pawn on b7. I have, like, as a target, I have the pawn on c3. And I just slightly blundered knight g5 idea because, like, my queen was defending the pawn on d5, but okay, he didn't do that anyway, so not important. Maybe it didn't work, maybe it was not a big deal. He might open up the position with c4. Bishop c5 is also an idea. Let's play h6 to avoid some knight g5. Anyway, it is something quite annoying and it would work at some point for him. Now let's go for queen d7, stepping away from from that. Let's also move the king away just in case. Overall, whenever you have a pawn on g6 and you play h6, it's often king h7, you go for that. He cannot play bishop b5, so I think he's gonna try something like knight d2, because he needs to get rid of that bishop. Because bishop b5 I would take there. This is also understandable move, bishop b6. This is something not so obvious, but okay, I see his point. I see his idea. I don't really want to give up my bishop. Then even bishop d4, I would have some problems. At the same time, I might face some trouble if I don't give up my bishop. I think it was a bad idea, but okay, what to do, that's life. He cannot really play a bishop b5 because of queen f5. f3. He decided to go for a risky way. Maybe it's fine for him. Like, I guess he has calculated something. Bishop takes or knight takes? Knight takes, pawn takes. Queen h3. He takes here. I have... I don't even have rook e5 because of rook d5. But maybe I have... No, I don't have even that. Okay, let's go for bishop f3. Maybe overall it was just a very bad idea by me to go for this. Yes, like maybe it was better to take with the knight and that's it. But okay, what to do, that's life. Yeah, the problem is now f7 is hanging and he has some time to do something. But what about my checks? Unfortunately, the bishop controls this square, so I cannot even go for these. King e2, queen g2, king d3. I don't have anything there, unfortunately. That's very bad, actually. Shit. Okay, let's go for rook e6, defending the pawn, kind of attacking the bishop. And here I had an idea. Do I start with queen g3 or I go for rook d8 right away? Unfortunately, he has queen a2. Oh, he might even take this pawn on b7. And after rook d7, playing queen b2. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm lost. Like even after queen a2, if I take, then queen f2, queen h3, king a2, like queen h5, queen f3, queen h2, king d3. And in the end, like this bishop on d4 is actually very strong, delivering too many problems for me. After queen a2, do I have rook f6? Rook f6, bishop takes, queen takes f3, queen f2, rook takes d1, I take, king here, queen g4, king h2. Doesn't really work. I don't know why he's wasting a lot of his time. The move is obvious in my opinion. I don't see anything I could do about that. What? What is this? This is a gift for my birthday or what? He thought he's lost or what? This is so weird. Oh, actually, after rook f8, I have e5. I don't know what he was thinking. What was he thinking? He was lost. I'm shocked. I'm shocked by his play, by his move. I mean, of course. What's this? I don't understand. Yeah, so knight e5, d5, rook e5 was better, but I didn't like some ideas there, so I decided to go for a risky way. And f3 as this. Queen d5 is totally fine. Rook d8, and like queen a2, I mentioned, and I even mentioned queen that he could start with queen b7 after rook d7, queen b2, simply grabbing one more pawn first. Rook e3, I saw this, like as you remember, I mentioned, but I thought that anyway here it would be lost for me, because after this, after this, the only check I have is queen h5, and yeah. With pawn on b7 it would be slightly better, but would still be lost. I don't know. Unfortunately, it's not possible to play Petrov against d4. But what he played after like spending 2 minutes, like what? Even like at least he could have played queen d8 going for a draw, because I don't have a way to win here, so I don't know. Like white to play queen e6, which is an easy loss. Like maybe he had some kind of hallucination. Like this is the only possible explanation of his move. Joker, thank you very much for like your recommendations on the tournament strategy. But I can make it. Yes, I can figure out what is the best way. Yeah, it is now a short break after round four, so I'm gonna go to grab some water, and I will be right back. You see, unfortunately, playing solid as black doesn't guarantee that like you will make a draw. Because like especially if you play against somebody who is like let's say a classy player, then they would simply like outplay you by pressing. And also against somebody, it's better to play, yes, against somebody it's better, like it's maybe better to go in let's say in a defensive way, playing a bit passively against somebody. It would be better to go for complications and escaping in this way maybe. Здравствуйте, Игорь. Yeah, so for example, playing against me as black and you play something, let's say, solid but passive, most likely I will beat you. But if you go for some complications, then there will be a chance that I do something wrong and make a mistake. But I would say it has been a while for me starting 4 out of 4. And just because today I don't really care, I have headache, and for me it's like I'm very calm. You can even see that by my pulse, that like it's still around 90, but I think previous Tuesday it was like from like maybe 110 to 100, 130. But I think today is like it's more relaxed. No, I don't like as white. I don't like playing against the King's Indian because the King's Indian is obviously about like I don't go for the main lines, so I don't like when my king is being attacked. Let's avoid doubling the pawns. I don't want that. This is actually an annoying guy. I used to lose to him playing black, and he always like win by the last chance. I mean, the position is equal, but he used to flag me. G5, I would go for knight h5, knight h5, queen h5, bishop g2, rook g1. Doesn't look like a good idea for white. Then after bishop b7, e4 in the end. Knight e4 seems quite quite a standard move. Maybe he's not gonna take. I don't think he's gonna take on g2. Maybe he would try to play against, to use my badly placed, misplaced knight on h5. Maybe knight e4 now. I think my king should be pretty safe, so I have no problems about that. But what do I do here? Let's play b4. Should be okay to do that. Of course, I would like to play e4, but the d4 pawn is a small problem there. Maybe knight b5 at some point might work. He's gonna bring his knight to h4 probably. Can I play d5? Takes, 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 then I take on c7. I think I can. Unfortunately, I cannot play e4. Maybe how about bringing the queen to h5? So now if he plays knight h4, at least the queens will be exchanged. So maybe he will play queen e7 with the idea to avoid that. Like he's gonna do something similar, but bring in the queen to g7. And actually, like I'm not so sure what I need to do in this position. Like f4 seems reasonable somehow. Like not an obvious move, but I think it is a right move, because if he goes g4, I badish in the center. Maybe I have created problems for myself, by the way. Yeah. And I need to think in advance what I'm gonna do about these and possible capture. Okay, capture there is not really a problem. But what do I do overall? What is my plan here? For now, he cannot play knight h4, but it could happen in the nearest future. What do I do? A very complex position, and it looks like black is doing fine actually. Especially since I'm not sure what I need to do. Was expected. I don't like what's going on. If he takes on d5, then I take on f5. If he takes on c3, bishop, bishop, d5, then the rook on g7 would be hanging. Probably it was better to do that move one move ago when bishop c3 would have been a check. But okay, what to do? I had an ouch. Painful. Блядь. Why? Just shit. In such a position. Simply outplaying him and outplaying him in such a beautiful way. Like, okay, make stupid, like, no, even here, like, was, I think here was some easier way, like, for example, bishop f2. What a lucky loser. Like, just play bishop f2, bishop a7. Like I played, it was fine, like completely winning. Yeah, bishop f2, just go for that and that's it. And here, don't blunder, like, insane. c6. Ah, bishop takes c6. Wow, what a move. Bishop takes c6. I didn't see that. Queen e6. How? Why? I could have taken that. Oh, stupid me. I thought queen b1 is a checkmate. But okay, like I played. The only thing I wasted too much time on, yes, 30 seconds check in bishop c3, but bishop c3 was a very good move. But yes, like this guy is very lucky. He has a very good score against me. I think he won most of the games. I know, actually he won 3, I won 2. But this, what is that? Like such a lucky loser. What can I say? Yeah, this game was very sad to lose. I wouldn't say it was a brilliant game, but like still was a nice play by me, and the way I, um, okay, maybe not outplayed, but tricked the guy, and then stupid back rank checkmate. Well, maybe that previous game is kind of, a fine for the game that I lost in that I won in round 4, the game where I was lost. Okay, not lost, but I was worse for sure. And maybe this is kind of like a payment for that. Yeah, we can say it like this way. But still painful, of course. Still painful, even if you try to consider it that way. I would be fine here without queens on the board. Um, with queens on the board, it's maybe slightly worse for me, but overall, as you may see, no problems for me. The basic pawn is is a small issue for me, but white doesn't have pieces to attack it. After rook c6, I can even go for rook d6. I can go for a passive way with rook b8. I could even go for an active way like rook d2, by the way. And going after that pawn, rook b6, rook a3, rook b8, b6, rook b3, b7, a4. Looks like not a bad idea. Especially after this move, because he couldn't even play rook takes b6 now. Let's also start with a useful move, avoiding back rank checkmate, not checkmate, after the previous game. Now it's everything is a checkmate for me. A4 was A4 was a better move. I wanted to do something useful. Why didn't I play A4? Pushing my pawn one step forward. E5, not so clear what it is about. I don't understand. G5 was a good strategical move, or strategical. Always have doubts about that. Like cutting off the defense of that pawn, for example. And actually my pawn on a2 will be defended by the bishop, so how is he going to stop me? That's an interesting question. Here I'm not sure, can I include this? Do I need to include this check or not really? Because here I have an easy road to a2, yeah? Like I play a3, rook a6, a2, b6, rook b1. If I played rook a2, then later I couldn't play a2. Oh, rook b1 would blunder. Rook b1 would blunder, rook takes a2. But I have, for example, rook g1. Rook g1, he's gonna play b6. He plans to play b6. Interesting defense by him. Actually, what's interesting? Yes, just winning for me. It's not winning for me. I thought I could play bishop c8 and rook a2 would be met by rook g2. Shit. Shit. Shit, bullshit. From a winning position, probably winning position now, it's not. Okay, still have bishop d5 as my best attempt. Maybe I'm still winning, because I'm threatening this. If he plays rook a2, I have rook g2 check. I actually slightly forgot that he has rook a2 when I decided to go for this one, honestly saying. Shit. What? This is not winning. Insane. This is insane. How's that possible, yeah? Like, such a stupid defense, like rook b1, rook takes a2. And after this. I was close to lose the game. I was actually completely lost here already. Oh no, still even rook h4 wouldn't be a loss for me. Incredible. This is incredible, I would say. I thought I was winning. Yeah, I think he knows that I play knight f6, so that's why he played knight c3. I don't know much here, let's just play chess and that's it. Hey, aggressive guy. Oh, I cannot play d6. Oh, that's his tricky plan. I cannot play d6. And the bishop wants to go to d6, and I cannot take on a5. It's interesting. He could go after my king. That's something to be careful about. Might be very dangerous, especially with my pawn on h5. Like, for example, queen at some point, queen g5, knight f4, knight takes h5. I don't have a great square for my queen. Let's play queen c7 then. I don't really think I'm threatening to take on c3, but that was the only available square, the only reasonable square. The knight goes to a5, but if d5, then it goes to e5. But I'm seriously worried about my king. But at the moment, I think it's okay. It should be okay. Like, at least he doesn't have too many pieces on the king side. And whenever he plays queen g5, I would go for queen d8, exchanging the queens. Ouch. Yeah, this is an option. This is definitely an option for the guy. Okay, let's take this one. I should take probably, and this one I'm not going to take. But what do I do then? Maybe knight c4 and knight b3, distracting him somehow. My king is so vulnerable. So vulnerable, little boy. It's hard to make a move. There are many moves, but there is no, like, let's say, no clear one which would help me to avoid problems. Maybe there is no such a move. I have check on a1. This could be something useful for me at some point, but not necessarily right now. Maybe right now, however, yeah, weakening the back rank also might be an issue for me. So what do I do then? Maybe I do something crazy like e5. Or how about rook h8? Rook h8 makes sense actually, bringing my rook to the king side. And he doesn't even want to take it. Okay, how about queen d8 then? Taking control over g5. And queen f4 is coming for sure. Oh. Oh. That knight on g3. Oh, actually I can take with my king. Oh, a brilliant move. Unfortunately, his knight on g3 is very strong. He's defending, he's controlling everything around. Please defending that one. And unfortunately, like, I'm down material. Otherwise, the things are not so... Oh, he blundered. He blundered. I saw that. I saw that he cannot do that. Okay, 40 seconds. His king is still pretty safe. Because of that stupid knight. Maybe we need to get rid of the knight then. One more lucky loser win today. Okay, not win yet, so let's like, no need to relax too early. That's insane. What I'm doing today. I actually wanted to say to you that I didn't feel before turning on the engine, I didn't feel like I'm completely lost here, even though I was 2 pawns down, because this was my plan. After rook b1, I didn't see what exactly to do, but I thought I'm 2 pawns down, but actually I'm just 1 pawn down, and that's why I don't really have too many problems. Oh, knight b3. Oh, like, sometimes decisions like this, they cost even more than like some brilliance, tactics, and so on, because I'm under pressure and I need to defend somehow. And knight b3, shutting down the bishop, opening up his king. Rook a1 was actually a good move. Queen d8 is a good move. King g6, I found it like it took me some time to realize that I can't take with the king. And queen g5 was enough. I just counted material. I'm actually I thought I'm a pawn down. That's why I didn't consider queen g5 seriously. I saw this move, but I thought I'm a pawn down. So exchanging wouldn't be good. Okay, what do we have so far? We have played 7 rounds, so there are 4 more rounds to go. I have 5.5 out of 7. Okay, let's go. Playing against Bluebaum, this year European champion and next year participant of the candidates tournament. Hey, why are you so mean to my pawns? Oh, actually it was a bad idea. Now I cannot play d5 because of this. Shit. This is actually quite bad what I did. So now I'm kind of forced to play bishop e3. Not a move I would like to play. Yeah, d5 of course I should have played instead of a3, but okay. Let's say if he takes on e3, then fe3, it's not the end of the world for me. I don't know what is the idea behind king h8. Is there any idea behind that move? I don't think he really wants to push his f-pawn at some point, so I don't understand what is the point. But okay, it's his problem to understand his moves. Okay, now we can see what was his idea. I also have some ideas, Oops. Maybe knight f4 at some point. Knight f4, rook h3, knight g6. Actually, I can play knight f4 right away, threatening a cheaper way to win the game with knight g6. And I can still do that. A hidden threat, rook g3. Then knight g6 and rook h3. Winning the queen, but the game would go on, of course, because black would have a good compensation, but I expect him to take on f4, or like maybe playing g6 makes sense. If he will spot my threat. Shit, he spotted it. Queen f6, I have knight d5. So maybe he should go all the way back to d8. Unfortunately, my queen is not in a great position. If it stayed on d1, then maybe knight g6 would win the game. But with my queen being on d3, it's not really about winning the game. I mean, at least right now, actually, g5 is common as a threat. Rook takes g6, knight g6, king g7, knight f8, queen f8 doesn't look satisfying, unfortunately. Let's go for rook h3. He's gonna take, I think. And then it is a good question, which, okay, he doesn't want to do that. Black is pretty solid, unfortunately. How about b4, maybe with the idea of b5, disturbing him from that side a little bit. Maybe it's not a bad, it's not a good idea. At the same time, maybe it's not a bad idea. I think he's gonna take on f4 anyway. What else to do? And it will be a very hard question for me to take with the rook. So then maybe some g5 stuff, rook here, g4, or taken with the pawn, which is kind of safer. Yeah, probably I'm gonna take with the pawn, so I would be able to bring my rook back. I would have an idea of d5, some checks like this. I expect him to play knight a5. I thought this should be his idea. Oh, 97 kind of similar, little bit, let's say, little bit similar to that. And unfortunately I cannot really play d5 because of bishop takes b5, queen d4 check. No, I don't have enough there. Rook f6 takes, queen f6, slightly not enough, just slightly. But if I play knight c3, then he will take my pawn, and then he will take my pawn. Okay, rook e1, then this one will be hanging. Everything is hanging from me. Why? Let's go then like this. The rook will go to e5, and this one will defend the f4 pawn, at least for a while. Rook e6 is one of the ideas, d5 is another one. Did I just blunder or something? I thought I would go for this, but he actually has knight f4. Oh, he can't even go for queen f4. Queen f4 is such a blind. Why didn't I play a rook e6 right away? Why didn't I start with rook e6? I would have such a good position, and now having such a good position, and now having an unclear position, absolutely unclear position. Shit. Really, I had no problem at all, and now I have a lot of problems. Why? Having such a good position. Shit. He actually has a way to h6. This fucking loser wanted to flag me, but fuck him. No, but I had a good position, I think. Knight b5. Knight b5 right away simply would give me an advantage. And here queen d2, bring in my queen somewhere. But then even here it was fine for me. Yeah, just play rook e6 first. I saw that. I wanted to start with rook d1, then rook e6, but start with this, queen d7, and then play rook e1. And a lot of pressure on black. Now d5, the king is weak. Yeah. Then it was already worse for me. But fortunately I found the way to escape. Queen e6. This is all good. And okay, this position was drush. And actually at some point I was even like maybe had some chances to win after his bad idea. No, here no chances to win, still drush. So I have 6 out of 8, and it is like now it is second break. So just a short break and I'll be right back. And this is a participant, a future participant of the candidates tournament. So as far as I see, like all, um, like GM title doesn't make you ethically, let's say, a good guy. Yes, because it's understandable when you want to flag, like let's say uh, when you play against, let's say, a weaker opponent, you were winning, and then like you just, or you try your like last chance. But here the game was no, like, okay, at some point it was some advantage for the guy, but overall I was the one who was leading the game. And like, I am a grandmaster, he's a grandmaster, but he's such a, like, what son of bitch to try to flag in. And in what position? Like, I would understand if there are like still some pieces on the, but the rook endgame, yeah, I mean not endgame, rook against rook, this is like a dead draw already. Yes, and still trying to flag. Yeah. Seems like I play better with headache. So maybe this is just because I don't do some bullshit, and like I develop my pieces and I just do the normal stuff. 3 rounds to go. I don't really know how much time left before the next round, but I think should start, yeah, quite soon. I don't really like playing this position with white, but okay, what to do? And this is already okay. I meant the position after possible bishop takes e3 by black. And yes, this is a bit annoying move. Actually, I'm gonna take with my knight and being able, like, if he takes, I would go for d4, but probably he will be, no, he cannot. If he plays d5, I have bishop e5. I cannot also, I also cannot play d4 because of the pawn on e4. An interesting situation, I would say. I think a4 I need to play, avoiding a4 by black, fixing his pawn on a5 maybe also kind of useful. Maybe h4, like h4, never a bad idea. unless he's gonna attack my king. So maybe maybe it would have been better to think about that if I really needed to do that. But okay, maybe king g6 by him now makes sense. But 97 allows me to play d4. f6, understandable. And let's exchange the rooks. So we're reducing the number of pieces that could checkmate my king. Oh, by the way, d5 is a nice idea. Probably he should take on c1. So in fact that oh, stupid, nice idea, so stupid. I should have taken on c8 first. Oh, stupid me. Stupid me. Okay, let's go for bishop f5. I'll go for bishop g6, yes, obviously. Oh, just I'm upset because I had a position which had no problem at all, and I was obviously better, and it was no need even to play d5. So I had a good position without a single problem. And what do I have now? Now I have, like, maybe I'm almost lost here because I think he could take on a4. Why didn't I play rook c4, by the way, to defend both pawns? I counted for this, queen g4, but I don't think it's like it really gives me enough counterplay. Okay, now let's defend. Overall, of course, I want my bishop on f2, but you see I cannot do that because of queen being there. Okay, now I can. But of course he can play b6, and then anyway I would have to take it. Do I need to worsen my pawn structure? I don't really think so. But maybe I can keep the queens. Queen h5, king f8, let's say. No, king f8, I don't think. Queen h5 here. Queen h5, rook f8. So, oh, maybe could I play? No, I couldn't. Okay, let's take. Why didn't I play b6 myself? Oh, stupid me. Stupid me. Of course, obviously speaking, this is a draw, and I could make it quite easily. I would like to play for a win. Oh, actually, he decided to play for a win. And maybe I could even get some problems here. Let's play this. Caution my pawn. And if I played g4 a few moves ago, it would be a dead draw. Seems like I cannot play d6. Maybe now I'm like, maybe I will face some problems. Itch. Because g4 right now. Actually, I'm gonna take, and then he's like, I will play rook h1, bring in my rook there, so shouldn't be an issue unless he's gonna flag me. That's the only problem in this position for me. Maybe this is a better move. I allowed c4. I thought I would go for d6 at some point, but maybe I couldn't do that. Maybe it was a very, very bad idea. Shit. mg4 f3, king c3. Insane, losing such a rook endgame where I had no single problem. Insane. Just make draw. But I was like, I was better. I was playing for a win. h4 maybe overall was no need to do that. Queen d2 would be better. d4, yes, obviously I have an advantage here. Oh, f3 is a nice way, improving the bishop right away, because now I couldn't do that. Then was stupid thing I did. Bishop e5. I saw this move later, but here it's not. Like, what is that? The knight has no moves. But okay, this position I have no, like, b6 play b6, like play for a win. I saw it only when I played bishop f2. I mean, I saw it previously, this move, but, and okay, play g4, dead draw. Somehow I overestimated my, like, I thought that I'm the one who has a protected passed pawn, and like my pawn is more advanced, but seems like it was wrong. Yeah, and especially allowing him to play c4 was a stupid decision. hope I'm not going to some kind of trap. But maybe I am. Why such a stupid move? Okay. Very dangerous. He's gonna castle alone, and I'm like might be in trouble. Bishop g5 might be an idea. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This might be very, very painful for me. I think bishop g5 doesn't really work. I have queen g6, queen h4, and the king escapes to e7. Fortunately, but even if he castle alone, he would have a good position. H4 maybe was unnecessary. He can, of course, he can still castle alone, having no problems. The guy wants to push hard and having problems for himself. I hope having problems for himself. So queen g6 or queen e6. After e5, rook d5 is also interesting. So like my knight would be able to go to some squares. Oh, I cannot go rook d6 because of this. Actually, I can, but what is that? The g7 might be a problem for me. No, I don't like that. Yeah, there are some problems for me, I would say. Oh, rook g6. I slightly forgot about this move. So need to be careful about that idea by the guy. Actually, if he, knight e7 is not possible because of rook g7. Yeah, rook g6 of course should be the move for him. Oh, holy shit, why so painful? Ouch, ouch. However, maybe it doesn't work because I have some ideas like rook e5 or rook d4. An interesting situation at the very least. As you see, if he goes for this, I go this. This is his way to force a perpetual check. I don't think he has something better because if rook d7, then I have rook e5. And after rook d6 there, I would play, yeah, like not a great game by me. Yeah, rook d8 was a bad move. And h4 was absolutely unnecessary, just castle alone, having some ideas like bishop b6. And here I thought I would be fine. Yeah, rook c8, I thought about this move. Oh, d4. d4 was shutting down the bishop on b6. Huh. Oh, such a simple solution. Yeah, rook g5 was possible. d5. Oh, rook d5, e3 is the only move to hold nice because fe3 there is rook f1 checkmate, and rook d4 he should go. Yeah, 3 pawns. Oh no, three pawns. Yeah. Okay, finally the last round left. My score is bad now. Like everything started quite good. I have 6.5 out of 10, but I had 6 out of 8 and a position without problems in round 9. But I lost in a very stupid way. So making draw against weaker opponent, and now playing black against stronger opponent. Okay, let's enjoy the game. If knight f4, then I might go for knight d4, queen d4, knight e4. So that's why I expect him to play something like e3. Or calculating consequences of knight f4 or knight c5. Yeah, actually bishop g4 helped white because queen d2 is, or I completely blundered that he can take it. Somehow I'm like just, yeah, one stupid move, bishop d7, and I have a bad position. I don't know why he's thinking for so much time. Everything is just bad. And since it is bad, let's go like it can get worse. He's wasting a lot of time, so maybe let's try to flag him. I don't know why he's thinking for so long, but it is not my problem. Bum, 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 bum. I just blundered. I just blundered. Okay, he didn't see that. That's good. Ay, 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 ay. Oy, 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 oy. Y tu morena y mi corazón. I shit. How I blundered that. Of course, I would flag him like just blundered, stupid. Queen's exchange, yeah, Queen h8 was a better. Just play King g7. He wouldn't even win this position without my help. Okay, yeah. In the end, it was just not enough. Not enough health, I would say, because like playing with headache is not the best thing you can do for your chess. But I decided like still playing since like not breaking the not missing the tournament. Okay, thank you everybody for watching and see you later.